Hi everyone, my name is Giovanna Proença and today we're going to talk about problem set 7, Fiftyville. If you want to get a solution to this problem and also an ebook on how to become a developer as fast as possible, click on the description below. So basically this problem talks about a mystery in Fiftyville where the CS50 duck has been stolen and they want you to find who the thief is, what city the thief escaped to, and who the thief's accomplice is who helped them escape. Okay, so we have two information here that is going to be our start, that is this that took place on July 28th in 2020 and took place on Chamberlain Street. Okay, this mystery happens in this time and at this place. So first things first, we have to understand how what information we have in our database, okay, and then we're going to start using these two informations to check what information we have in our database. So do the cd problem set 7 and then cd Fiftyville, okay, and here we're going to use SQLite 3 Fiftyville.db. And when we do this, we're going to open here, we are able to see our database. So since this problem is kind of complicated, we're going to do step by step, okay? So always we're going to check here the information and then we're going to pass to this log.sql, where we're going to keep a log of any SQL queries you execute as you solve the mystery, okay? So first, let's see what informations do we have. So we can do this using .schema, okay? And here we can find all the tables that we have in our hands. So we have the table crime scene reports, where we have the year, month, day, street, and descriptions of the crime scenes. We have the table interviews, where we have the name, year, month, day, and transcript of the interviews. We have the courthouse security logs, where we have year, month, day, hour, minute, activity, and license plate informations, okay. The ATM transactions, we have the bank accounts, the airports, the flights, the passengers, phone calls, and people tables, okay. So we have a lot of information in our database and we are going to solve this mystery using this information here, okay. So let's start. I put this schema in here, okay, so we're going to use this part here. You don't need to create this file. I just created this to make our life easier, okay. So first we're going to start our problem working with the only information that CS50 gave to us, that is the duck has been stolen in July 28th in 2020 and it took place on Chamberlain Street, okay. So let's start it. Where we can find where we can start our problem. So if we watch the walkthrough that Brian Yu gave to us, he explained where we have to start, okay. So it's basically in here. Let me pass for where he explains. So basically we're going to work, oops, let me find it here. So basically, where is it? We're going to work with this information, okay. We're going to get the description of the crime scene using the crime scene report table. And since we know the time, the day, the month, the year, and the place that the crime scene happened, we can find the description of this crime scene. So we have the month, that it's 7, July 7, okay, day 28, year 2020, and street, Chamberlain Street. So we're going to start using this information here, okay. So first we're going to use the SQLite and then we're going to pass to log. This is going to be our workflow basically. So we're going to start using what we want to get, select description, okay. So if we take a look here, description is a column in our table crime scene, okay. We have information of the year, month, day, and street. We just don't have the information of the description, and this is what we're going to get to start to solve our mystery. So select description from crime is seen, reports, and what is our day. So we know that our day it starts, so our day it's 28, okay, so day, oops, it's equal to 28. Actually, I'm going to pass this information to here, okay, so we can have this information here. So let me zoom in, and I think it's going to be better for you to actually see what I'm writing. So where day is 28, okay, we know here it's 28, and month, what month it is, it's July, but when we see in here, the table wants the month to be an integer, so we're not going to write July, we're going to write 7, okay, and year equals to 2020, and street equals to, why are we going to use equals? Because we know the exact word that we're looking for. So it's Chamberlain Street. And when we do this, we're going to receive a description here, okay? So we're going to work with this description. So then you can copy this part, so we know this is working. We're going to copy this part here, and we're going to pass this in our log.sql, okay? And now we're going to work with the description. Work with the description. So the description will give us a new path to follow. So we know that the 5th of the CS50 duck took place at 10 a.m. 15 minutes at the Chamberlain Street courthouse. Interviews were conducted today with 3 witnesses who were presented at the time. Each of the interviews transcript mentions the courthouse. So here, what are we going to do? Now we're going to work with the descriptions, and we have to find out these 3 interviews that we have. So we know that it's 3 because we have 3 witnesses, okay? And we're going to work with these 3 witnesses transcripts interview to know what exactly happened. So if we take a look at our transcripts table, what information we have in our transcripts table? Oops, it's in here. In our transcripts tables is the interview table, okay? So we have the name of the person, but actually we don't need the name of the witnesses, okay? We have the year, and we have the year because the year is 2020. There is the column month, and we have this month that it's July. We have the day that is 28, and we want to get the transcript, okay? So what are we going to do is basically what we did previously. So we're going to use select transcript. Why transcript? Because this is the table that we want to work with. This is the table here. We want to grab the transcript to follow to solve our mystery, okay? So we have year, month, and day informations, and that's where we're going to work. So select transcript from, what is the name of the table? Is interviews. Where? What it's our where. So we have information of the day, where day it's equal to 28, and month it's equal to 7, and year is equal to 2020. And we have one more information than this, because if we go through this, we have more than 3 transcripts, right? So we have to be sure that we're getting information from the 3 witnesses that were in the same place. And if we take a look here, the 3 witnesses who were present at this time, each of their interviews transcripts mention the courthouse. So we're going to use this courthouse keyword to find out what are the 3 witnesses of this crime scene, okay? So to do this, we're going to use again select transcript from interviews, where day equals to 28, month equals to 7, and year equals to 2020. And we're going to add one more information, and transcript like. And why like? Because we're saying that some part of the transcript is going to use this information here, and to say this, we're going to use percent courthouse %. So when we use this notation here, we're saying that In some part of the transcript, it's going to talk about courthouse, okay? So when we click enter, we're going to find out what? Just three transcripts, okay? And that's what we want. So I separated here, okay, the 3 transcripts, but we're going to work with which one at a time. So first, let's read the first transcript. Sometime within 10 minutes of the theft, I saw the thief get into a car in the courthouse parking lot and drive away. If you have security footage from the courthouse parking lot, you might want to look for cars that left the parking lot in the time frame. So basically, this transcript is saying what to us. So let's use the information of the security footage from the courthouse parking lot, okay? And we have the information that it's in the same day. So let's take a look at the courthouse security logs. So we have the information of year, okay, that's 2020, the month that is 7 July, we have this information, dates 28, hour. So hour, it's an information that we have in here, okay, from the description. So remember it was 10 a.m. and 15 minutes. So sorry, oops. So we have the hour that it's 10 a.m. Okay, so we have the hour 10 a.m. Minute, we can say that it's started 15 minutes, but here it says that sometime within 10 minutes, so we can say that it's in the range, the minutes in the range of 15 and 25, okay? And the activity was exit, okay? So the car was getting out of the parking lot. And we're going to use this information to get the name of the people that did the same thing, so we can have our first suspects, okay? And to join this information of name that it's in our people's table, okay? We have the name in our people's table. To join this information with the information of the courthouse security log, we are going to use this primary key ID. If you check, both of these tables have this primary key ID. So we can find a match between this table here, people, and the table security, courthouse security logs, okay? So join, if you don't remember, take a look at SQL Boat lectures here. We also have a video doing all the exercises of SQL Boat, but basically, tables that share information about a single entity need to have a primary key, and we have this primary key that is the ID, and that identifies that entity uniquely across the database. And we can join these two tables to get the information that we want. This is basically the idea, okay? So let's do this. So first thing, what we want to grab the name, okay? And where name is in the table of people. So here we're going to say select name from people, okay, people table, and we're going to do the join. So we're going to join the people table with the courthouse security log. So we're going to join courthouse security log on. This is the structure that we have to use when we are joining tables, okay? This is the idea that we're doing. And when we do this join, we have to set the primary keys. So people dot, where is the primary key? It's people.id, and people.id is equal to courthouse security log dot, what is the name of the column that we have the primary key ID in security logs table? So it is ID also, so we're going to write here ID, okay? So here we're doing the join, but now we have to do what? We have to join the day with the month, year, and actually, I'm so sorry, I said it wrong. The things that we have the same is the license plate, okay? So in here we have the courthouse security log using the license plate, and in here we have the license plate again, so this will be our primary key, okay? It's not ID, so license plate. I'm so sorry, it's good for you to see when I do mistakes, because we always do mistakes when we are coding, and it's okay. The good thing is to find out this before it makes a bug. So this is our join, okay, and now we're going to use the conditions. So what are the conditions that we have? We have the conditions from the courthouse security logs, right? We have the year, month, day, hour, and minute, and activity, so we can be very specific on this. So basically here we're going to use where, day. So let's go to up to down. So year, so what is the year that the 5th happens is 2020, okay, and month equals to 7 because it's July, and day equals to 28, and hour equals to 10. Why 10? We saw in the description, okay, take a look at the description that we get in this part here. Oops, in this part here, okay, the first part of our code. We have minute and minute. So minute, we're going to grab from which information? So we know that from the description that it happened at 10:15 a.m. okay, but in here it says that sometime within 10 minutes of this, so we know that it's in the range of 10 minutes, so the minute will be between 15 and 25, okay, so we're going to set this plus equals 15 and minute less or equals to 25, and activity we're going to set equals to exit, okay, because the person was getting out of the parking lot. And when we click enter, we're going to find out. Let me just remove this bug in here. So basically I miswrote here courthouse security log, but it's courthouse security logs, okay, and then we can click here enter, and we're going to have the name of some suspects. This is our first suspect, okay, so since this is working we can put this in here, okay, and we're going to write it down here, the suspects that we have so far, okay, so suspects, so just to keep track on the names, so Patrick, Ernest, Amber, Danielle, Roger, Elizabeth, Russell, Evelyn, and that's it, okay? So these are our first suspects in here. Now we're going to work with the second transcript, okay? So basically in the second transcript we have what? I don't know the 5th's name, but it was someone I recognized. Earlier this morning, before I arrived at the courthouse, I was walking by the ATM on Fiftyville Street and saw the 5th were there withdrawing some money. So we have another information, okay? So we have the information of what? We have the information of that the 5th was at the ATM on Fiftyville Street early in the morning, okay, so we can use the table ATM transactions, okay, we can get the year, month, day, and ATM location, we can get this, and with this we can get the bank account. With the bank account we can get the name of the person. Why we can get the name of the person? Because we have here the foreign key, person ID, that reference to people ID. So we're going to use 3 tables in this case. We're going to use the table of ATM transactions, we're going to use the table of bank accounts, and we're going to use the table of people, okay? So here we're going to do the join again. So since we want to grab one name only, we're going to select distinct, okay, name from people, okay, and we're going to do the join. So the first join, we're going to join the bank account, okay, with the people table. And why we can do this? Because they have this relationship in here. So we're going to join bank accounts on people.id equals to bank accounts dot person underscore ID. And then we're going to do another join, and this join will be between the bank account and the ATM transaction. And how we can do this, because both of them have what? Both of them have the account number, okay? So this is going to be our relation. So join ATM transactions on bank accounts dot account number equals to ATM transactions dot account underscore number. And with this we can do the join, okay? And now we're going to use the condition. And what condition do we have? So we have the information of the day, okay, the year, that is 2020, the month, that is 7 July, the day, that is 28. We have the ATM location, that is in here we have the Pfeiffer Street. And we also have the transaction type, that is the withdraw, okay, that we have in here. So we're going to use these informations to get the new suspects. So where day equals to 28 and year equals to 2010 and month equals to 7 and transaction type equals to withdraw and ATM location equals to Pfeiffer Street. Okay, and when we run it, it's going to give us new suspect names. So since this is working, we're going to save in our log, okay? And also we're going to save these new suspects that we have in here, suspects. Okay, so we have now Danielle, Bobby, Madison, Ernest, Roy, Elizabeth, Victoria, and Russell. Okay, and by now we can start looking at if the suspects that we get in here are the same that we get in here. So we can kind of start excluding the suspects that doesn't appear twice, okay? And how can we do this? So we can just check. So let me drag this down. So we can check where if both names appear in the same. So Patrick doesn't appear in here. Ernest appear in here. So he's a suspect. So we can say that by now we have these suspects. By now the names that appeared in both cases are, so Ernest, okay, let me scroll down this, scroll up. So Ernest, Amber doesn't appear in here. Danielle appears in here, so Danielle. We have Elizabeth in both, Elizabeth, and we also have Russell. Okay, so these are our main suspects by now. So now we're going to work with the third script. As the thief was leaving the courthouse, they called someone who talked to them for less than a minute. In the call, I heard the thief say that they were planning to take the earliest flight out of Fiftyville tomorrow. The thief then asked the person on the other end of the phone to purchase the flight ticket. So here we have two informations to work with, okay? So we have the information that there was a phone call, okay? And if we take a look in here, we have a table about phone calls where we can get the caller, the receiver, year, month, date, and duration, okay? And we also have information about the flight ticket, because they are planning to take the earliest flight out of Fiftyville tomorrow. So tomorrow here would be day 29, okay, month 7, year 2020. So we're going to work with these two information. First, let's work with the information. First, check the passengers for the flight, okay? So to do this, we're going to work with the information of the name, because we want to get the name of the suspects, okay? And the name of the suspects has a relationship with the passengers, Okay, so we're going to get the passengers of a flight. And how are we going to get the passengers? We're going to get the passengers using the flights table. So here we're going to use 3 tables, okay? So to do this, we're going to say select name. Why name? Because we want to select the name from people table, people. And we're going to do a join with the table of passengers. So passengers on people dot passport underscore number. And why are we using this? Because we have here the passport number here. Okay, we can do this match, and we're going to do the match with passengers dot passport number. And why are we doing this? Because if we take a look here on the passengers, we also have a passport number. Okay, so we're kind of matching the information in here. And then we're going to do a where, okay, and this where will set the condition for our flight. Okay, so we're going to select the earliest flight in the morning for the next day. So flight ID equals to and we're going to select ID from flights table, okay, and we're going to set the condition. When we use the parentheses here, we're saying that this condition here will be matched with the information that we have in here inside the parentheses, okay? And here we're going to find the flight that they are talking about. So day will be equals to 29, okay, because it's tomorrow, and month will be 7 because it's tomorrow, and year it's going to be 2020. And we have to order this by hour and minute because they are going to get the earliest flight out of Fiftyville. That's why we have to use here order by hour and minute. But if we leave this way, we would get the name of the passengers of all flights of these days, okay? But since we are ordering by hour and minute, we're saying that it's the earliest, okay? So we are ordering all the passengers that is going to get a flight at day 29 July 2020. But this way we're going to get all. We can use a limit here, limit 1, to get the information only of the first flight, that is the earliest. And when we do this, we get the name of all the suspects, okay? So we can copy, and since it's working, we can copy the code that we did and we can paste it in here. And by now we have new suspects. So suspects are Doris, Roger, Ernest, Edward, Evelyn, Madison, Bobby, and Danielle. And we can start checking the information. So we can see in here the names that are already here we have the names that appeared in both cases, so the first and the second transcription. And now we can check these names with the names of the new suspects here, okay? So we can check if we have Ernest, and we have, so Ernest is a suspect. Danielle, we also have here. Elizabeth, we don't have, and we don't have even Russell, so we can take out these 2 names of here, okay? So by now, our suspects, our main suspects, okay, are Ernest and Danielle. And now we're going to find the real thief by checking the phone call, okay, because we know that as the thief was leaving the courthouse, the thief called someone who talked to them for less than a minute. So we can use this information about, so let's take a look here about phone calls table. Where is it? Phone calls. Let's find out here. So here. So phone calls, we can use the year, month, day, and duration. So year, we know that it's 2020, month it's 7, day it's 28, and the duration we also know because it's saying here that they talked for less than a minute, okay? So by doing this, we can get the name of the person that was calling, for example. Okay, so we're going to do this match now in here. So let me make this greater. So we're going to use select, and we're going to use this distinct because we don't want a repetition, okay, of name. And this name will be from people, okay, that is the table that we are working with. And we're going to do the join with the phone calls table, okay. And we're going to say people dot. So let's see what they match. So here we have the phone number, okay, that it's a text, and we can get from the caller, okay. So we're going to use this match. So here phone number, it's equals to phone calls, that is the name of our table, caller, okay. And by this we can use our condition that it's day equals to 28 and month equals to 7 and year equals to 2020, and we know that the duration of the call was less than a minute, okay. So we're going to use 60 seconds here. And now we can find out the new suspects. So with this we have new suspects. So let's place in here check the phone calls, and we can paste it in here, okay. And now we can get some suspects. So our new suspects will be Roger, Evelyn, Ernest, Madison, Russell, Kimberly, Bobby, and Victoria. And now we can match which of these two names here appear in the suspects. And now we know that the fifth, it's Ernest, okay. So the fifth is Ernest. Now we're going to work on where they escaped to and who was with him, okay. Now we can use information about the flight that we already have and the phone to check where the thief escaped to and the accomplice, I don't know. So let's do this, okay. So to know where the thief escaped to, we can use again the airport. Actually, we are going to use the first time the airport tables, okay, where we can get the name of the city, okay. And to get this information, we're going to work with the destination airport ID. Where is it? Let me put it here. We're going to use with the destination airport ID to match the information with this ID here, okay. And where we know from the flights table the year, the month, the day, and we can check the earliest flight in the true day of this fifth here, okay, of this fifth. So we're going to do what? We're going to select city. And why city? Because we want to select city from airports, okay. So select city from airports. Where? And here we're going to do the join. So ID it's equals to. It's a different way of doing a join, okay. We're saying that this ID that we have here in airports is the same as this destination airport ID that we're going to get. Okay, so where ID it's equals to select destination airport ID from flights table, okay, where we know that year it's equals to 2020 and month it's equals to July, that's 7, and day it's equals to 29, that is the day after the day of the fifth. And we're going to order by hour, minute, and we're going to limit 1, okay? And when we do this, we get that the city is London, okay? So we can put this information here, and the 5th escaped to London. Okay, the 5th escaped to London. And now we can get the accomplice, I don't know. So put on the comments, how should I say that? We can get this by using the information of the phone call. And here in the phone call, we're just getting the caller, but we can get the receiver, okay? It's kind of the same way that we're going to do in here. The same thing that we did in here, but instead of caller, we're going to use receiver. So we're going to say select name. Select name from people. We're going to join the phone calls. It's like we did previously, okay? On people.phone number equals to phone calls table dot receiver, okay? We're not going to use the caller in this case. And the same conditions where day is equal to 28 and month is equals to 7 and year is equal to 2020 and duration is less than 60. And we have one more information, that the caller, it's Ernest, okay? And we're going to say this, okay? So, and caller, it's equals to, and here we're going to get the information by doing this. We're going to select the phone number of Ernest, okay, to do this match from people where name it's equals to Ernest, okay? And when we run it, we're going to get the name of the accomplice, that it's Berthold. And we can copy and paste this in your code, the thing that you did. And now, like the last line of your SQL will be a semicolon, okay? Don't forget to use a semicolon. So I hope you enjoyed this content and see you in the next video. Bye bye.